Everyone knows the thrill of competing in anything, whether that's sports, gaming, or anything that has a competitive edge to it, anything that can give you something in return, whether that be something tangible like a... wait one moment. Like a trophy, or if it's something not physical instead of a trophy, something that doesn't seem physical, instead it's something inside all of us, and that is pride. Hinata Shoyo is a small kid with a dream. A small kid with a big dream to make it big. He wants to be as best he can be at something he loves, which is volleyball. He wants to put everything he's got into it. He wants to try and just be the best he can be in volleyball. Now, Hinata is like most kids. He don't really have a special talent, per se. He doesn't really have anything special about him. He's just an ordinary kid who really loves volleyball. But there's one thing that he does have. It's passion, it's drive, and it's the courage to keep going despite being told he can't. Despite being short and despite being not a natural, gifted, talented young person at volleyball, he has something else. He has his smallness. He is small, so he uses that to his advantage. He's quick, he can jump high. He uses that to his advantage. And he can jump high. He has to jump higher because he's so small. But he jumps higher because he wants to reach there. He wants to be at the same level as the other people who are taller than him. He wants to jump so high, he jumps higher than the tallest person. And that he can successfully be part of a team, and he can be a true asset to the team. For Hinata, there's no such thing as a limit. Well, there is, but it's not a limit, it's an obstacle. An obstacle he must overcome. An obstacle being a new team he must face. An obstacle being an old rival in which he must now make his ally. Because if they are rivals forever, there's no way they can win a game. Hinata eventually joins a group of people who really love volleyball. Each of them, in their own right, hold their position well. Each person has their own characteristics, their own special abilities, their own uniqueness about them, which together create the team. And what does the team want? Well, the team wants nothing more than obviously to win, obviously taking part, but mainly what the team just want is just to play another game of volleyball. That's it. That's all they ask for. It's just one more game. So all the anime power shots, super moves, and loud shouting aside, what is Haikyu? Well, it's a story about a boy who had a rival, and a boy who had this rival who he just couldn't beat. He couldn't overcome because he just couldn't beat him. He just couldn't. Physically, he couldn't. But he kept going, and little did he know that rival would eventually aid him to be his most needed ally. And it really shows how keep your friends close but your enemies closer. But in Haikyu, there's also a lot of sadness. In fact, the third years, they would be going on to college, meaning they could no longer play as part of the team because they're no longer going to be there. They're going to be moving on, but they didn't want that. They wanted another game. They wanted one more game, and that's all the team wanted, is one more game. And they never backed down. And when they eventually got let back to be able to do another year and to be able to be part of the team again, the sheer emotion and passion on their face, it could not be described in words. The only way I could describe it is, it's like taking away their heart if they were to leave. But luckily they were given a chance to play one more game of volleyball. But they got their chance to play another game, and Haikyu really shows us that a victory is never given to you. A victory is earned through sweat, blood, tears, and just everyone doing their part. Yes, they had a lot of failure along the way, but them failures were what brought them together as a team, what helped them to grow each other, working on their strengths and working on their weaknesses, and seeing how their weaknesses could potentially become their assets. And no member of that team really was disconnected. Every member of the team was important. Each character was important. Each story they have, each backstory they had, each life they live, all lead up to the game they were going to play. The game that they were all going to share as a team for how many ever games that may be. But the team did stumble a few times, but they picked themselves back up and they were able to fly. They were able to fly so high that they soared over the competition, and that together they could win no matter what. They had to win, because that's all they wanted to do, was play one more game of volleyball. They had to win, play one more game of volleyball. So I've been Tora. If you've not seen Haikyu yet, I highly suggest you do, because next year we're going to be getting another season and I cannot wait. So if you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button, tell me what you think of Haikyu in the comments down below if you've seen it, or other sports anime that you like to watch, and I'll see you all in the next one of whatever I make.